Hi there. In this video, I'm going to talk about what are permalinks. So if I just navigate to the codex.wordpress.org and then type in using underscore permalinks, I can see the permalink definition. So I can read from here, permalinks are the permanent URLs to your individual web blog posts. So if you are using WordPress, then permalinks are linked to your individual blog posts and categories and other kind of things. So for example, your archives or tags or things like that. So one of the way you can express a permalink is like this. So you have the year, you have the month, and then you have the post slug. So slug is basically a URL, part of the URL, which is attached to the complete URL, and it gives a unique meaning. So whenever I type this address in the browser screen, all I'm going to get is only this blog post and nothing else. So permalinks are a way to identify uniquely some kind of property in your uh, blogs, and they can represent your categories and tags and other kind of archives. So if I just take to my localhost installation, you can see that the host URL is localhost/sjp40, and this is my installation of the directory. And if I check out any single blog post of mine, all I can see is localhost/sjp40 slash question mark p equal to 1241. This is not a very nice way of putting a URL. Since this is my test blog, it's fine. But if you are on a production site, for example, your blog that you want to display to the world, remember that this URL is also going to form a part of your brand. So if it is like this, you have higher chances of ranking at the Google than if you just have this, which does not indicate anything about the blog post. So this is the default permalink that WordPress uses when you install this on your hosting system or on your local host. Now if you just go into the WordPress admin panel, you can go to the settings, and then you can go to the part here, the permalinks. Once you click on this place, you will see that you're taken to the screen where you can do the permalink settings. By default, the permalink is the one that I have shown to you. This one. There are other kind of permalinks that you can create. So you can create a day and name permalink where you have the host name, the website name, and the installation directory. Let me look a little bit closer. Then you can have day and name, you have this the website name, then the installation directory, and then the year, the month, and the day, and the sample post. Previously this was most common way of working with the permalink. A lot of people don't like it because it unnecessarily builds up the characters in URL, and if your slug that you use is very long, then it won't be recognized that easily and won't be very SEO friendly. So you can use day and name, you can use month and name, or you can use the numeric. The numeric is something like you can use 123, which is the post ID, the ID of the post in the database, and you can use any word and then after that the post ID. This is fairly okay but not still great. And then the most popular, which is the post name, where you have the website name, the installation directory, and the post slug. So the problem with using this kind of permalink is that it doesn't give an impression of when this blog was published. While if you look at this one, you have immediate understanding of what year, month and day it was published. While if you look at this one, the it is very hard to make sense when this post was published. So you have to make the right choice, because sometimes user may be annoyed that the information you are giving is out of date, but you have not indicated either in your post or it is not indicated by your URL. And if you use this URL, you can be pretty safe that user will understand that it's a little older information and will take appropriate thought process about it. You can also use custom structure. So instead of using the above default, you can use custom structure. Now how to find the custom structure is, you have to go to the permalinks link in the WordPress once again and go down. So if you see here, the default is called as ugly by WordPress, and now you understand the reason, because it's just for test environment and not to be used in production environment. While a pretty permalink is something like this, which has an indication of the date and also the unique slug. So if you go to the custom structure, you can type in something like this, the post name. There are a lot of patterns that you can use. So you can use percentage year, percentage month number, percentage day, hour, minute, second if you are posting by second, which rarely happens. And you can use post ID, post name, category, author and all kind of things. So people do use a lot of variations of this. Some people use category percentage and some people use author percentage, and it basically depends on what you want to use. But WordPress has a important piece of information here, is that you have to make sure that the URL that you're going to use should be unique for that blog post. So which right here, this is very important, avoiding interpretation as an archive link. So for example, if you use percentage year, percentage month and percentage day as your permalink, there could be chances where you are published twice in your day, and both of them would be shown if a user types in this permalink. So the important thing is, you must use some kind of structure. For example, percentage post name percent, to just separate out after you have put the percentage year, percentage num day, and you can use the percentage post to separate out the permalink from other permalinks. So I'll just take you through one example. If you just see that the permalink for this is p equal to 1241, which is not nice. Let us change the permalink structure to day and name, and here WordPress has automatically introduced the day and name. I'll just select it once again. Okay, so day and name is used, and I will save the changes here. Right now WordPress is generating the structure for the permalink, and we will see after it is done how the permalinks look like. So once we have generated the permalink with the day and the name, we're going to go to the this blog post, the main blog site, and I will just refresh it once more, and I will click on this one to understand how this permalink has changed. Maybe open it in a new tab, and as you can see, the previous one, which was p equal to 1241, is now changed to the year on it wherein it was published, and the month and the day and the slug of the URL. Much easier to understand and much friendly to bookmark. That is how you are going to use the permalink. And the one more important thing you need to understand is that when you change a permalink, for example, if you are having a permalink as default and you decided to move on to the day and name, please make sure that the redirection from the old permalink is happening in the new permalink. So for example, if you have a Google index which is based on this kind of permalink and you want to go to this permalink, then you will have to create a kind of a redirection using a theme or using htaccess, so that a person that visits this permalink is not lost and he rightly lands on this permalink. So I hope there was a useful discussion on the permalinks. For more information, you can always go to this page. There are plenty of stuff, and I suggest you read as much as you can understand, so you'll have a better idea of how permalinks work. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my video.